Budget smartphone market is getting big, considering the fact Xiaomi is pushing their limit by offering great smartphones with a very aggressive price tag. Just for $140, they released yet another budget handset, the Redmi 4X. Hey YouTube, TechrAtz here, and this is my full review of this device, so keep watching.
I want you to be mine again, baby. I know my lifestyle.
Before jumping into the actual device, let's take a look at what comes inside the box. The box contained typical Xiaomi stuff, no headphone as usual, but I was really impressed by the charging brick. They give a good attention to detail even in this unnecessary thing. When it comes to hardware and design, Xiaomi never fails to impress. Its metal construction leaves a solid feel in the hand, as it just have a 5-inch display, one-handed operation is a breeze, and its 2.5D glass blends perfectly with my black version. By the way, this phone comes in 3 different colors: cherry pink, champagne gold, and matte black. Don't pick the other two cause the matte black looks pretty dope and the bezel is less noticeable on the black version. It has a volume and power key on the right, which are very tactile and easy to reach, and a hybrid SIM tray on the left. One SIM slot doubles as microSD card slot, which supports up to 256GB of external storage. On the top, secondary microphone, IR blaster, and a 3.5mm jack. Moving to the bottom, it has a primary microphone, micro USB port for charging, and a single bottom firing speaker that sounds pretty adequate. Fingerprint scanner is mounted on the back. It's not the fastest one I have tested, but it works 99% of the time. And these 3 capacitive keys are hardly visible and not even backlit. And beneath the home key, there is an LED notification light, which is hard to notice as well. Call quality from the earpiece is loud and crisp. Even in a noisy place, you won't have any problem listening to the person from the other side. Its 5-inch 720p IPS panel with 294 pixels per inch gets the job done. The display looks a little warmer to my liking, but you can change it just by sliding this to left or right. Display is set to vibrant by default, but again you can change it to standard if you want to. Color reproduction is good and the brightness goes up to 400 nits, so the outdoor visibility will not be an issue. Touch response was good, and due to black front, bezel feels narrower than it is, so playing games and watching video was a pleasing experience. And again, no mention of any protection glass, so do be careful. It will take a separate video to talk about the MIUI in detail. In short, this phone runs the latest MIUI 8.2 on top of Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow, which have many additional features. UI is optimized really nicely, thus helps a bit in multitasking and overall performance improvement. Though the UI is inspired by iOS a lot, but for last couple of years, it has got somewhat its own personality. To get the best out of this UI, I will suggest you to flash the global stable version of it. We used to expect that a budget smartphone equals a bad or at least not more than an average camera. But to me, this Redmi 4X's 5MP front and 13MP rear shooters were solid performer in decent lighting condition. Grain starts showing in darker situations, but that is expected when you spend less than $140 on a smartphone. Both the front and back camera is capable of recording Full HD 1080p video as well. Camera software packs the typical Xiaomi features, where you can shoot in many different modes. HDR adds a bit more sharpness, but the shutter speed is pretty slow. I was impressed by its capability to focus on a subject so strongly, as the aperture is just f2.0. Take a look at some sample shots taken with this camera and you will be the judge here. Moving on to the performance, this phone is powered by Snapdragon 435 chip combined with Adreno 506 GPU. I'm using the 3GB RAM and 32GB ROM version for this video. There is another variant which have 2GB of RAM along with 16GB ROM. The Snapdragon 435 performs a lot more decently than I thought it would. Though I'm a believer of real-life performance rather than benchmark scores, But for the sake of this video, here is the Geekbench 4 result. Yeah, with the same Adreno 506 GPU, it doesn't perform like a Redmi 4 Prime. That's because of a less powerful processor. You will see some frame drops while playing intense games like Asphalt Extreme, but it delivers more than enough performance for an average user. Due to 3GB RAM and well-optimized UI, multitasking is smooth as well. Again, with a massive 4100 mAh battery, this phone can last even more than Redmi 4 Prime. Because it has a 720p display where Redmi 4 Prime have a 1080p panel, I was able to get more than 7 hours of screen on time, which is incredibly impressive. Considering this was a heavy use, a lot of YouTube, taking phones and some gaming. Heavy users will have hard press to destroy the battery in a single day, where light and medium users will need anywhere from 2 to 3 days to drain the battery completely. So should you buy this phone? Well, if you are an average user and don't often play high-intensive games, then go for it. But if you are a heavy user like me, who always pushes the limit of a device, I will suggest to add some extra bucks and grab the Redmi 4 Prime with a better processor and Full HD screen. In case you are interested to know more about Redmi 4 Prime, I have a full review of that. The link will be given in the description. That's it for today. One more thing guys, I'm heading to get 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. If you like my content, please hit the subscribe button to help me reach that number. If you don't like, then please let me know in the comment section below. It will help me improve my future videos. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.